it's Joe at home in his suburban garage again, trying to do something with this 86 Pontiac Trans Am. Well, we got a little revelation today that things aren't as they were promised, told. Got a little issue down here with a bit of a lack of metal. And you're coming with me on this one. I haven't even tried this yet, so yeah, probably better off that I don't. I don't like what I'm seeing already. Oh boy. Yeah, that's ugly. We'll just leave that alone for now. So yeah, floor pans are a little rotten. Yeah, there's a bit of a hole there. This is a torque box. This here is the outline of what's left of the floor. It's all crusty up in there. That side's a little worse than the back. I haven't even poked around at that one yet. I'm sure that one's just as sad. Yeah, that seat rail there. I don't think somebody my size is going to be able to trust that to hold a seat. I end up in the back of the car with the hatch. So we pulled all the interior out. Took most of the day to do that. Brittle plastic and whatnot. And then I removed the, what do you call it? The aerodynamic stuff on the bottom. I forget the name of it. But yeah, there's that. I don't know what's going on there. That looks like a patch. Some kind. Like I said, I haven't even touched that. There's just nothing good can come from it. So we'll just leave it alone. I decided to check the rockers, seeing how bad the rest of this is. There's a little bit of a hole in the driver's side in the front. So if I cut the pans out, I'll have to put a patch on that. That's not horrible. A little bit more welding. No big deal. The big deal is that the pans are $300 a piece, plus $100 shipping on each. From everybody that I can find, that's about the same thing. So you're looking at $800 for floor. I don't know. Now the other thing today, in order to get the ground effects off, that's the word I was searching for, this inner fender well had to come out. And in doing so, there used to be a chunk of wire that sat here and went into that hole right down there. Yeah. And it was chopped off up here. I knew that. And I have one ordered from a gentleman that runs a private yard up in Pennsylvania. That wire has a block on it that plugs into the side here. And it's a plug. It plugs together. And a piece comes in from this way, from inside the car, and this piece plugs into it, and it's fastened in there, in the firewall. So I just assumed, since they cut it up here, that it was just down there. It's for the PCM, runs the engine management. And I just naturally assumed that they just chopped it off up here, tucked it into the fender well, and said to heck with it, it's enough. Because he had all that over there, whoop, big giant finger in the way, he had all that red stuff over there, which I haven't even begun to look through that yet. I really don't know what he did. I'm at a loss at this point with a lot of the things that went on with this car. She's no beauty queen anymore. So in pulling off the ground effects, I found a little bit more badness down there. This is all Bondo. There's no doubt about that now. Probably can't see what's on the floor there, but it's the bottom of the spare tire well. Yeah, that's see-through also. Tire would probably fall right out. So anyway, when I took the kick panels down, you can see that hole. Well, that hole is where that wiring harness is supposed to live. So apparently, it was tucked into the fender because I reached up in there and found it, and got a little more bad news. That's the side that I assumed was intact. So, from this plug here to my right is the piece that I have coming. Thinking that this piece going that way was still under the dash and connected to the PCM. Now I don't know if I need that. I can still run the car with a standalone harness. I can still do that, and it'll still run and drive. But then my digital dash, if I'm assuming that any of the PCM runs any of the dash, then none of that's going to work. That's the whole reason, behind me picking this car, is that digital dash. That's what I wanted. So here's the breakdown. $800 for floor pan. Okay, that is a budget killer right there. That motor, right now, I need oil pan, windage tray, pickup tube, dipstick, and dipstick tube. There's a kit that I can buy. It's $275. It needs accessories on the front of the motor still. I'm going to shelve the air conditioning for right now because I really don't need that instantly as far as getting the car on the road and running. I don't need the car on the road running. Remember, this is a project. It all started with that motor. I wanted to build this motor. Originally it was going to go in an S10 that I had lined up, and the S10 got sold before I had a chance to grab it. So I lost my test mule. So now that's why I have the Trans Am that is such a joy here standing behind me. So as far as the accessory package goes, there's two aftermarket suppliers that I can, let me just back up. There are two setups from an aftermarket supplier that I can choose from. The first one that I'm not crazy about stacks everything on that side of the motor. Alternator, power steering pump. The brackets are $109. The alternator, hey, you got one right there. I already have. Power steering pump, a different animal altogether. It's going to be around $60 just for that. The other one, the pump that I like, or the setup that I like, is that finger again. Hello, where are you at? Alternator here. I take that back. Power steering pump here, and alternator there. And it uses a turnbuckle to set tension on the belt. That's the one I like. That one's $165. And the drawback to both of these is that that water pump has to go. And an LS1 water pump has to be used because of the proximity of the throttle and that gooseneck sticking up right there. You'll see, if you look at it, that's actually holding the throttle open because they're hitting. So that ain't going to work. If you look underneath, you see that round boss right there. That's where the LS1 water pump spout comes out. The other thought was drill that open, put a spout in there of some kind, tap one in, whatever it takes, tapped threads, a piece of pipe, welded a piece of aluminum tubing on it, something, anything. Weld up the upper one and call it a day. Still kind of kicking that around. I don't know what's going to happen just yet, but You know, you're looking at 150, 160 bucks for a water pump for an LS1 pump, or paying some welder guy to weld that up for me. LS1 pump also has to have a spacer kit. That's another $65 for 2 chunks of aluminum with 3 holes in each one. I don't know what I was thinking when I started this, to be honest with you. I should have just found me another Camaro that was wrecked and stole all the drivetrain out of it like I did for my 94. I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. Things are starting to fly a little out of control here. So we're going to take a little break and, you know, goof around a little bit, try and get back to my happy place here, and we'll see what happens. This stuff is already paid for, so, you know, it's here, whatever. And when I come back to it, I come back to it. I just got to figure out what to do with this car. There really isn't all that much left to sell on it. I mean, there's ground effects in the nose and a bumper and a hatch, but it's a 3rd gen. Not a lot of people want that stuff. These wheels, whatever. They're corroded, they're nasty. I mean, what could I get for the wheels? $100? Dashboard, $100. It's $200. Maybe that nose. I don't know. Maybe let's be generous. Say $100. Yeah, it's $300. I'm still out 7. It's a damn shame. Craigslist, baby. I'm telling you what. My God, I hate Craigslist. But it's the only game in town anymore. Nobody puts anything in the paper anymore because you got Craigslist. It's cheap. It's convenient. It's also a scam. All right. Craigslist. Okay, YouTube. I'm out of here. Later.